Ooh, what's going on? Everybody, what's going on? Round of applause. It's Wednesday night, hump day, May 22nd, year of our Lord 2024. This is another HBCU Tonight. I'm your host, Doc Holliday. We are back in the house where we talk about all nothing but HBCU sports and the culture and everything that goes around with it. But if you haven't done it by now, make sure that you like the stream, make sure that you comment, share, most of all, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get everything HBCU Overdrive. Of course, I did a poll earlier today. We're going to talk about that um, this evening. Um, who is the number one ranked coach in the SWAC? And if you have been watching the SWAC baseball tournament, we're gonna talk about that too. Thank y'all for tuning in. All right, but let's go ahead and hit that commercial break. Be right back after this message. It's your boy Doc Holliday. Become a subscriber on HBCU Overdrive on YouTube, and you can follow me on all social media platforms at HBCU_Overdrive on Twitter and Instagram. You can catch me on TikTok at Holiday1925 and on Facebook under my real name, David E. Smith Douglas. Also, when you become an exclusive family member, you get all the membership perks. You get all the exclusive members only videos, early access to new videos, member shoutouts, and members only live chats. And also, you can get birthday shoutouts on here and win member when you become a subscriber. You can also hit the donation to the Cash App at HBCU Overdrive. You can hit the PayPal David Smith 1925, and you can hit the Zelle David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. Remember, all proceeds go towards the channel. Now, it's your boy Doc Holliday. We swing to the left, down I-20, and we dip. We going down there for SWAC Media Day, July 16th, 2024, being hosted at the Sheraton Birmingham Hotel in downtown Birmingham. And we got all schools that's going to be represented in the house on that day. We talking about Jackson State, Valley, Alcorn, Pine Bluff, Prairie View, Texas Southern, Grambling, Southern, Bama State, A&M, Bethune-Cookman, and FAMU. But in order for your boy to get down there, in order for you to get that good content, you got to hit the Cash App, you got to hit the PayPal, you got to hit the Zelle. We also got to hit that Super Chat while we on the live stream. And so, make sure you get your donations in so we can get down there. And like I said, you're going to swing and I swing to the left. Hit I-20 and we dip. Yeah, baby. All right, we back, y'all. Some of my mouth is food. Haven't ate too much anything all day, but anyway, let's get into it. Uh, first and foremost, for the first time in a whole week, FAMU is not in the news as far as what's going on with their university. That is a good thing. All right. So they will be coming up next. Excuse me. As far as the baseball tournament goes, so we are going to go ahead and get that going. Get this. Get the standings. Actually, get the
get the brackets. That's what I'm looking for. Hmm. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the brackets. See if I can find it. How's everybody doing? How's everybody going on? You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Tony? Yo, CT, what's happening? You said Braves number one. All right. My Atlanta Braves is number one. Yeah. Atlanta Braves are number one. I'm always gonna say that. Let's see what I can find. I want to know which one was worse: Jackson State versus Texas Southern, or Bethune Cookman versus Prairie View. Give me your answer in the chat. All right, so got that. Here we go. I hate that I got this bracket small as hell. Anyway, um, let's start off with that, y'all. Let's start off with the Let's start off with the baseball. All right. Oh man. You said damn them alley cats. Oh, let's start with that, y'all. Let's start with that. Let's start with that. I was crazy. That's funny right there, bro. Let's start with the SWAC baseball tournament. Okay, so we had some games that came on earlier today. Had some games came on earlier today. Earlier today in baseball action, uh, Bethune Cookman destroys Prairie View 16-1. Also earlier today, Grambling defeats Alabama State 6-3. As y'all saw earlier, just then, Texas Southern gets mollywopped by Jackson State 17-4. I would say I think the better game for me, the better game for me, even though I didn't even watch it, but just to look at it, just to see what happened. was was Prairie View and Bethune-Cookman. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So I'm gonna share this screen right here. And it's small. Y'all have to excuse me. The they put out that they put this out as real small. So I'm gonna go ahead and spotlight that, and we'll drop this banner down. So I'm gonna read some of this off of my phone. Uh-oh. Let me. So, and we all know the top teams in the conference uh, in the Western Division was Texas Southern. Eastern Division was FAMU, both won their respective divisions. And like I said, they sent the top 4 teams from each division to the SWAC tournament. So, on, and this is crazy, because how they do it. So the top team in the West is in bracket A, and the top team in the East is in bracket B. So they just kind of mix it in. But the thing is, it's the thing is that you if you lose a game, then you play tomorrow morning in the losers bracket. The losers bracket game. So loser game 1. So game number 5 will be playing at 9 a.m. in the morning, and then follows by game number 6. That's at noon. Game number 7 is on the winner side. That's at 3 p.m. And game number 8 on the winner side in bracket B will be at 6 p.m. So at the end of the day, if you get into the losers bracket, you have a harder chance. You have a harder chance to make it to the next round, only because Varsity up the street, Northside Drive, one of the varsity still there. Varsity is still there. It ain't gone nowhere. But going into the losers bracket in the baseball tournament is something that you don't want to do because the simple fact that you the winner. So on bracket A, the winner of game 5 moves on, and then the loser of game 7 comes into the bracket. So Texas Southern is going to be in the losers bracket, so they're going to be they're going to play one extra game. So now let's just say Jackson State keep winning. Let's just say they keep winning, y'all. So they keep winning. Game 7, the winner of game 7, let's just say Jackson State winner of game 7, they play at 3:00 on May 24th. And we'll be live on May 24th because that is the 2-year anniversary of the podcast. So let's just say like that, they don't really have to worry about playing a lot of games. So in the loser bracket, you play either 1 or 2 extra games than if you're in the winners bracket. So it's more like so basically the losers bracket is more like a gauntlet. So it's basically double elimination. If you really think about it, let's just put it just like that. Double elimination. You have no time to rest. And see what we saw earlier with, let's just say this, what we saw earlier with Prairie View and Bethune-Cookman, with Prairie and Texas Southern and Jackson State, particularly with Texas Southern and Prairie View's pitching, you can only give a pitcher three days rest off top. Give them 3 days rest because most managers, most baseball coaches / managers, they want to be on a pitch. They want to be on a pitch count. They want to make sure that whoever they starting pitcher is has the most effective arm to get them through this tournament. So, of course, let me just say this. Jackson State pitcher, the starting pitcher, he gave up 4 runs. Okay? Gave up 4 runs. We took him out. So that way you can rest his arm because maybe he could come in for relief. Let's just put it just like that. You don't have time. So if you're in a loser bracket, you don't have time. You don't have rest to make your way back into the winner side. So, like I said, the losers bracket, you're gonna play one extra. You're gonna play one extra game than what everybody else is playing. So that's what was going on with baseball tournament. And what we saw in that Texas Southern Jackson State game, in that first game, was the simple fact that it's hard to do. Jackson State batted around. And what we mean by batted around, basically they came the whole starting 9 batted, came back and batted in the same inning. So just think about that. The score was 5-4 going into the 7th. Which that was ridiculous, y'all. Jackson State played Texas Southern earlier this year in the Cactus Jack Invitational. So that wasn't the first time. It just hasn't been. It's been a while since we played them. But but if you haven't, if you just don't know too much about baseball, um, batting around is like it's basically like we is killing your will. We is destroying everything that you got coming out there. Thank you and good night. And it was to the point where it got so bad. It got so bad. Mercy rule came into play. Once the score got to 15, got to up to 15, past the I think was it the 10 run ruling for mercy rule. All Jackson State had to do was in the bottom of the 7th, 1, 2, 3, and the game is over with. So you got FAMU get ready to play Texas Southern this evening. That game was supposed to start at 6, but because this game went fully over than expected, I think they won't start until 7 o'clock. So, great day, good day at Russ Chandler Park in Atlanta. The sun was out. You seen the buildings, the skyline, the some construction up there. But I think that is a good venue to play at for SWAC baseball to host that tournament there. And so I would give it up to. I would give it up to Georgia Tech for letting us use their stadium. And yeah, thankfully it did rain. It didn't rain. So I'm trying to see what time the Mavericks play today. So uh, see what time they play tonight. And that's going to be a good game right there. So first round, conference final, Western Conference final against Minnesota will be, I think it should be coming on at 7:30. Let's see, people texting me. And so I want to see everybody who voted for today. Let me go ahead and see what's going on with that. And if Mr. Ford is if he's watching live, I did send the link for him. I did talk to him earlier, so I just let him know we were worried about him. So About to put a poll in for tonight's question.
Tomorrow in Irving, there will be some sun and thunderstorms, with a high of 86 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 74 degrees. Also, there's a flood warning in effect from Thursday, May 23rd, 5 a.m. to Friday, May 24th, 11 a.m.
All right, we got a poll started up in the chat. Who's going to win the baseball tournament? Nah, I'm in Texas, man. I'm in Texas, Mr. Emmett. So I wish I was in Atlanta, but I'm in Texas. I don't think I can see myself being in Atlanta, like living there. So other than that, man, we're gonna get to some other don't get me wrong. Bethune-Cookman, I actually do like Bethune-Cookman as far as when it comes to baseball because they got solid pitching, they got hitting out the wazoo. They like to play small ball. They like to play the long ball. I ain't got Gremlin in the poll, but they only gave me four. They only give me four options, man. They only give me four options. So I'm sorry. Bear with me. Bear with me. Look, we are live broadcasting on both YouTube and Twitter. Make sure that you like the stream. Make sure that you comment, share, and most of all, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell to get everything HBCU Overdrive. So, and also we are still halfway to our initial goal for the Drive to 205 initiative. Make sure that you hit the PayPal, Cash App, and the Zelle. We are halfway there. I am going to be putting in some money on my end right there. This initiative will end on June 17th. So we don't have that much time to go. But it would be more appreciative that we could get this all going. I want to see if we could raise at least $300 today. And then whatever we can get later on in for the rest of this week, we can go ahead and do that. But let's try to get $300 today and make it happen. So let's try to do that, y'all. Let's do that because I'm more than willing to bring all this good content for y'all. What we got it next? We got some NIL drama. But before we do that, let's talk about the state of Mississippi finally doing something right. The state of Mississippi finally doing something right. We'll be right back after this message.
It's your boy Doc Holliday. We swing to the left, down I-20, and we dip. We going down there for SWAC Media Day, July 16th, 2024. Being hosted at the Sheraton Birmingham Hotel in downtown Birmingham. And we got all schools that's going to be represented in the house on that day. We talking about Jackson State, Valley, Alcorn, Pine Bluff, Prairie View, Texas Southern, Grambling, Southern, Bama State, A&M, Bethune-Cookman, and FAMU. But in order for your boy to get down there, in order for you to get that good content, you gotta hit the Cash App, you gotta hit the PayPal, you gotta hit the Zelle. We also gotta hit that Super Chat while we on the live stream. And so, make sure you get your donations in so we can get down there. And like I said, you gonna swing and swing to the left. Hit I-20 and we dip. Yeah, baby.
All right, we back, y'all. We are back. We back. So let's get into it, y'all. Let's talk about this, man. I want to talk about this. First and foremost, to all the high school graduates that are graduating this week, some graduated over this past weekend, some graduated last week, some graduating next week. Be ready. Be ready for the next challenge. You know, I wouldn't say that it get easier. I wouldn't say that it get hard. But be ready for the next challenge. That's coming into your life. If you going to college, hey, appreciate you. We gonna love you. If you go to HBCU, you're gonna be treated like family. If you decide you don't want to go to college, you want to get a trade, hey, do what you got to do. But the thing we want to talk about, the thing I want to say is be productive and don't just sit around and not do anything. You know, don't just do anything. Don't do nothing, but be productive. So that is my word for the high school graduates, and I get to say this next year when my niece graduates. Yeah. Look, I did that commercial, Debbie DeMario. I did that commercial in like 20 minutes, in like 15 minutes. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to kind of tweak it. So I'll fix it next time. So Debbie DeMario be going to Alabama. We're gonna leave out that Sunday. Gonna leave out that Sunday morning. Gonna drive. I don't do the flying. Get to Birmingham probably in that evening time. Kind of get something to eat, rest up. Monday, drive around, look at all what's going on in Birmingham, see everything. Try to go to the museum. And then Tuesday is SWAC Media Day, so I will be occupied that whole morning, afternoon, and then probably leave out. We'll leave out Wednesday morning. Make it easier for me. Make it real easy for me. So, but before we get into this NIL drama, y'all, and it's some drama. It is some drama. The state of Mississippi is giving out $110 million, y'all. 110 million of them things to the seven public universities. So 7 of the 8 public universities, this is coming from the Clarion Ledger, or AKA Clarion Liar, because them motherfuckers be lying a lot. 7 of the 8 public universities in Mississippi, as well as the University of Mississippi Medical Center, are set to receive billions from the state to spend on capital improvement projects. Senate Bill 2468, which was signed into law by Governor Tate Reeves last week, is an annual appropriations bill. A part of the bill transfers money to the 2022 IHL Capital Improvements Fund. In total, the state is sending $110 million in funds to Mississippi's Institution of Higher Learning, which oversees each of the state's 8 universities. The IHL is in charge of distributing the funds. So basically, Unlike what FAMU, they have their board of directors. We are run by IHL. This year, funded to the IHL Capital Improvements Fund is about $90 million fewer than 2023, which saw Reed sign off on just over $193 million. So basically, the colleges that are getting the money, I would name them out right now. So Alcorn is getting a little bit well over $8 million. So part of their money is going to go to expansion and renovation of the Whitney Center, where they play basketball, volleyball at on campus. Also, and pretty much that is it. So it's going to be go for repairs, renovation, and expansion to the David L. Whitney complex, which is the home of the Alcorn State University Braves men's and women's basketball teams and men's and women's volleyball team. Hey, I didn't know they had men's volleyball. Tell me something. Delta State is getting over about $4 million for repairs and replacement of roofs for various campus and administrative buildings. Jackson State, we'll save them for later. So let's go to Mississippi State. Mississippi State getting $13.2 million. The College of Architecture, Art, and Design will be receiving repairs and renovations, as well as acquisition of property and equipping of related facilities. Mississippi State's Division of Agriculture will also be receiving an additional $10,231,000 for repairs and upgrades to the Boss Extension Center and Dorman Hall. So pretty much they get the most of it, in a sense. Mississippi Valley is going to get close to $9 million, so it's going to go for construction and furnishing of a new residence hall and related facilities. That is going to be a good thing right there, because a new residence hall means more students come on campus. More students come on campus, the more money that you're going to make. See where we're going with this right here? University of Mississippi. I am not going to call them Ole Miss. I will call them Ole Piss. They got $16.5 million that's going for construction, furnishing, and equipping of a new mechanical and power plant building, as well as related facilities to serve the northwest quadrant of the campus. Also, repairs and expansion of the data center building and related facilities. UMMC, that is the University of Mississippi Medical Center, is getting $7 million. That's going to go ahead and repair and renovate and upgrade campus buildings, facilities, and infrastructure. And University of Southern Mississippi, University of Stealing Money, that's what I call them, is getting $18.6 million construction, furnishing, and equipping of the science research facility with a central mechanical plant and related infrastructure and facilities on the Hattiesburg campus. Now, I'm going to see it just like this. Half of that need to come back to apply that to the other two smaller schools, to the other two HBCUs, and give a little bit back to Jackson State, because y'all don't deserve that money. Y'all don't. Now, let's get to Jackson. $23 million for repairs, renovation, and upgrades to campus buildings and facilities, including McAllister Whiteside Hall and other critical campus facilities. The monies will also be spent for the development of alternative water resources, which is a good thing. We've been asking about that for the longest. $7 million of that money, JSU funds will go for the purchase of a new residence hall. Now, it has been word on the street that the new residence hall is going to be the old Marriott downtown. So, hey, if you expand you expand your university to the downtown sector. That is a good thing. And again, like I said, more another dorm, fix a dorm, build a dorm, even buy a building for a dorm. More students come to your school. More students come to your school. That means more money going into the school's pocket. So let's keep it going. Keep it going. He said for my shrimp po' boy when I get to Birmingham. Appreciate you, Deputy Mario. But the school that's not going to get any money out of this. Oh, the school already got a downtown campus. Okay, my bad. Hey, it's been a long time since I knew that. But the school that's not going to get any money out of this is going to be the Mississippi University for Women. And let's see why the reason they're not going to get the money. While 7 universities are receiving funds from this year's bill, one has been completely omitted: the Mississippi University for Women. In last year's bill, the university received $9.3 million in state funds for capital improvements, with $8.7 million going to repair and upgrade campus facilities, $300,000 to repair and upgrade the pole gymnasium, and another $300,000 to improve the Hogger Center, which is a dining hall. I'm trying to remember all that stuff. I used to stay in Columbus for a little bit after my daughter was born. Nora Miller, the president of the W, told the Clarion Ledger in a statement, the W is still receiving funds from the state legislature, including $3.16 million for capital needs, as well as $300,000 for the renovation of Painter Hall from another appropriation bill to the IHL Senate Bill 3006. In total, Senate Bill 3006 is sending over $381 million to the IHL to distribute to all 8 universities. Miller's statement does say that the needs her university has are greater than we receive. She still expressed gratitude to the Mississippi legislature for the funds they did receive. Miller's statement offered no comment on why the W was left out of this year's IHL Capital Improvements Fund. I mean, well, if you're still getting money from another bill that was passed last year, I guess they feel like, hey, I don't think you need anything right now, but I feel like everybody needs some money. Cephal's University is still the money. USM, they don't need no money. They don't need to get no money. That money that was stolen from the state by Brett Favre and Phil Bryant and Reed's little brother. I don't know what you want to call him, tater tot, mashed potato, whatever you want to call him. That money needs to go back. It needs to come back up. It needs to be redistributed to the other universities that actually do need it, especially at Jackson State, because we are the only urban university in the state of Mississippi, and we need that money to fix the whole. Like I said, we needed to fix a whole slew of things. Like, if you could have took some of that money, you could renovate. You could have improved the athletic and assembly center. All right. You could take some of that money and, improve up on the transitional dorm. New hood. Like, some of that money can go to different things on campus, but that $7 million I feel like to purchase the old Marriott downtown, which is going to be a good thing to have for a actual residence hall. Like I said, fix and improve or build a new dorm. Excuse me. More students gonna come. More students come, the more money you get in your pocket. Easy like that. Easy like that. Will we ever get the funds for building a new stadium? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think we're gonna ever get no state fund for building a new stadium. They want most schools. They do get funding from the state, but majority of them get private funding. Yeah, the last time that happened, yeah, the states redirected it on some bull crap. Um, More likely this time, if Biden, because I know he's going to appropriate $16 billion to HBCUs, uh, which is more than what any other president has done, even Trump. I'm going to say it just like that. What he has to do for when the money goes to the state of Mississippi, he has to earmark that money for the state to not touch it, to not to redirect it to any other school or any other parts of the state. It's one of them things. You got to play the long game, man. And what you got a governor that's Republican that is a staunch conservative, and when you say conservative, this man is cheap as hell. Um, but you have to kind of put it in there like the states, you cannot touch this money for any other thing other than the universities that are designated HBCUs. Y'all hear that in the background? It is a storm coming. So I ain't gonna stay on here too long. All right. Um, So yeah, we do need money to renovate the current stadium, whether it be by the corporate sponsorships or from the states. Because as long as because we talked about this all the time, even Ken talk about this. As long as Jackson State's own that stadium and they sit there, the University of Mississippi Medical Center ain't gonna get that land. They're not gonna get it. So as long as we stay over there, um, if we stay over there and say we're not going nowhere, now we only gonna go somewhere until we get if we get a new stadium. But y'all know, construction takes time. So we get a new stadium, and when it get built, we'll be at the vet. Until then, after it gets built, you name your price, which how much you want to buy that land from Jackson State. Yeah, yeah, we hold the leverage. We hold that trump card. And you are right, Brandon. We hold that trump card because long as the stadium sits on the land that the medical center wants, we ain't budging. Now, if we get plans, we get corporate sponsorship, if we get private donations to build a new stadium on campus, um, but like I said, until then, we are going to stay at the vet. We're going to stay at the vet and until it's finished. But and then once the stadium is finished, we name the price. We name the price of how bad do you want this land? That's the biggest question. How bad do you want this land? Because if you want it that bad, they're going to overpay for it. And guess what? Overpaying for some land that you really want, it's going right into the school's pocket. You gotta be nasty with it. Gotta be nasty with it, especially when it comes down to negotiations. It has to be. But let's go ahead and let's continue on. So we got NIL drama. So this ain't got nothing to do with HBCU, but it's there's the rulings and stuff going on Capitol Hill with the NCAA and the antitrust thing going on. It's gonna have some implications. We'll talk about that. But Georgia quarterback Jaden Rashada is suing Florida head coach Billy Napier and others for breach for a botched $13.85 million NIL deal. First of all, let's get this straight, y'all. I ain't giving out one kid that much money. If you make more than me, come on now. So this is coming from CBS, NCAA football section. The Georgia quarterback Jaden Rashada has sued Florida coach Billy Napier, top Gators booster Hugh Hathcock, and former football star Marcus Castro Walker over a failed name, image, and likeness deal that would have paid the quarterback $13.85 million, according to a lawsuit filed in federal court on Tuesday. The bombshell lawsuit, which features the unprecedented action of an active SEC quarterback suing a sitting rival head coach, is the most notable NIL-related lawsuit to date. In many ways, Rashada became the face of the chaotic nature of early NIL that was full of big promises, with little oversight on the heels of his Florida deal falling apart. The complaint, filed in the Pensacola Division of the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Florida, details a number of accounts alleging Napier, Hathcock, and others fraudulently induced Rashada, then a highly regarded high school quarterback prospect, to attend Florida with no intention of following through on their financial promises. Specifically, the lawsuit claims fraudulent misrepresentation and inducement, aiding and abetting fraud, civil conspiracy to commit fraud, negligent misrepresentation, tortious interference with a business relationship or contract, and aiding and abetting tortious interference. What the hell? What the hell? That is a lot right there. Hathcock, on behalf of himself and Velocity Automotive, Castro Walker and Coach Napier orchestrated and executed a fraud upon Jaden and were substantially and knowingly assisted by one another in carrying out the fraud, the lawsuit said. Each of their individual schemes would not have succeeded without assistance from one another. Attempts to reach Florida for comment were not immediately returned. Rashada enlisted well-known Houston area attorney Rusty Harden. That's a name that people will remember, because I'm trying to figure out who he represented. It was one of them cases either. Who has previously represented a bevy of notable athletes, including Roger Clemens and Adrian Peterson. To try the case, Harden has been involved in potential litigation against Napier and others since January 2023, when Rashada's agents, Jackson Zager and Tommy Thompson, first reached out inquiring about legal options after Florida boosters allegedly reneged on the multi-million-dollar NIL deal. At the crux of the argument are the actions of Napier, Hathcock, and his company Velocity Automotive, as well as Castro Walker convincing Rashada to eschew a previously agreed upon $9.5 million NIL deal to attend Miami in favor of Florida. Rashada originally originally committed to play football in Miami in June 2022 under the terms of that deal, but the lawsuit alleges that Florida employees and boosters never backed off in their pursuit of the talented Pittsburgh, California product. It includes allegations that Hathcock told Rashada whatever Jaden needed to come to UF, Hathcock would make happen. It also alleges his father, Harlan, was told he could get a job in the security industry during a recruiting visit. Direct contact with a recruit during an on-campus visit by a booster is against NCAA rules. To sway Rashada's decision, Hathcock and Castro Walker offered the $13.85 million deal with a $5.35 million, with $5.35 million, including a $500,000 signing bonus to come through Hathcock's Velocity Automotive Company and the rest through Gator Guard, the NIL collector that he started. Hathcock had previously committed to donate $12.6 million to the Gator Boosters, and early media reports stated the Gator Guard raised $5 million in its first 24 hours. Before the deal was finalized, however, Hathcock informed Rashada's representatives that he no longer wanted to route NIL payments through his company because he planned to sell it, according to the lawsuit. Instead, he and Castro Walker proposed money coming directly from Hathcock and the rest coming through the Gator Collective, Florida's other NIL collective. That involved Eddie Rojas, CEO of Gator Collective, who allegedly texts Zager about the impending deal. Tell Jaden we look forward to setting him up for life. Need to set up his brokerage accounts ASAP. Dude is rich and we just got started. The deal was originally signed on November the 10th, 2022, with the first $500,000 payment due to Rashada on December the 5th. The lawsuit claims, though, that Hathcock never had any intention of making that payment. Everyone involved, including Napier, knew that. The collector never had the money, and yet they were making all these promises to the kid, Harden told CBS Sports. Your dangle, life-changing, generation-changing money in front of a 19-year-old kid who grew up without it. You can't expect that young person not be affected by it. The bargaining power is totally unequal here. Instead, a day after the $500,000 payment was due, the Gator Collector sent Rashada a termination letter of the $13.85 million deal. Still, the lawsuit claims Napier and Castro Walker went to great lengths to convince Rashada that they would make good on the promised money even without the contract. Castro Walker told Rashada's agent that the Gator Guard would now take on paying the deal and that Hathcock, through the Gator Guard, would personally guarantee the $13.85 million obligation himself. The only payment allegedly made was for $150,000 to pay back John Ruiz, a prominent Miami booster, so that Rashada could avoid possible litigation with Ruiz, who was seeking repayment from the initial $9.5 million NIL deal. It all came to a head on December the 21st, the first day of the early signing period, where Napier allegedly personally vouched to Rashada that Florida alumni were good on their promise that Jaden would receive $1 million if he signed with Florida on National Signing Day, and that Hathcock would make the payment. Harlan Rashada later text Zager, Coach Napier said on Hathcock's plane, and that he will wire $1 million. He wants the paperwork, and I'm sending it if you are good. It claims that Castro Walker threatened Rashada that if he did not sign it, Napier might pull his scholarship offer. First of all, if you getting an NIL deal, ain't no way you getting a damn scholarship to go along with that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Harden told CBS Sports that Napier never should have been making those promises, which at the time were also against NCAA rules. That's not a role he should have been involved in. He shouldn't have made those promises, and he should have stayed out of that whole area, Harden said. He didn't, which that is true. If you the head coach, you ain't supposed to be making no promises. Your job is to coach the team, get the boys ready for the season, coach the team. That's it. You ain't supposed to be making no promises like, yeah, we're gonna give you NIL money. What the hell you doing that for? You want to get a show cause penalty. You want the NCAA to come into your house and look at everything, look at all the finances, look at all the boosters. You want them to come in. I'm sorry. That's stupid. Less than a month after early signing day, Rashada asked for his release from his letter of intent with Florida. He ultimately decided on Arizona State, his father's alma mater, where he wasn't promised any NIL compensation. He started 3 games for Arizona State in his first season, that was last season, and won his debut as a true freshman. Rashada transferred to Georgia this spring. All right, so he back in the SEC. Rashada informed Georgia coach Kirby Smart of his intention to file the lawsuit, according to sources, and Smart gave his blessing. Kirby Smart, like, that's the ops. I ain't worried about them. Do what you got to do. To whatever they promise you, do what you got to do and get that money. Castro Walker no longer works for Florida, though the school hasn't detailed the cause for that. The NCAA was actively investigating the case, which included interviews with relevant parties and Florida cooperating with the investigation, according to sources. Following the ruling in the landmark Tennessee and Virginia versus NCAA lawsuit, which barred the NCAA from enforcing NIL-related compensation rules, the organization's enforcement arm backed off. The lawsuit claims that Rashada suffered the loss of his $9.5 million NIL deal with Miami and other collective-sponsored NIL compensation. It also seeks punitive damages. In total, the lawsuit argues that Rashada is the victim of a new world where boosters have never had more influence. Jaden's miserable experience reveals in stark and dramatic detail what can happen to young student athletes when wealthy, win at all costs alumni insert themselves into college football's recruiting process, the lawsuit says. So basically, hey, hey, Billy Napier is dumb as hell. You must don't want to be a head coach. I'm sorry. You must don't want to be a head coach. Look, the lights is too bright for you in the SEC. You should have stayed at Louisiana. I'm gonna be honest with you. You should have stayed at Louisiana. This is not something that you need to be in. I'm sorry. How you gonna promise something? First of all, you can't promise a recruit that you're going to give him some NIL money. You have no right to say that. You have no right. That is up to the boosters and the collective to tell the kid, hey, this is what we're gonna give you. But you open your big ass mouth, and I'm just, come on, man. Now this kid got much ammo. And I remember when he said, when he came out of high school 2 years ago, he came out of high school. Not saying that he ain't good, but he's good. He's a good kid. He's a good good kid. He could throw the ball and everything. But at the same time, I'm looking at it like not almost $10 million. A lot of coaches don't get paid $10 million. Like if you combine 8 of the contracts in the SWAC, it equals up to that $9.5 million compensation. I mean, for that collective. Like, for real. And he's a freshman. He don't need that much. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm gonna be real. If you a freshman coming in to the NCAA and coming into football, if you're a freshman coming into football out of high school, straight out of high school, what the hell you need a $10 million NIL deal for? What you need that? What you need that for? Because first of all, you only can prove that you can play on the high school level. You ain't proved to me that you can play on the college level. Like you literally got to prove to me that you could play big boy football. And I don't know if I can see that you play big boy football. You play 3 games. You played 3 games at Arizona State. They were one of the worst teams in the Pac-12. I don't know. It just sometimes it upsets me. And Mr. Emmett, even with Nico, I'm a Volunteers fan. Just let everybody know I'm a volunteer. I'm a Tennessee Volunteers fan. He don't need that type of money right there coming out of high school. You gotta prove to me that you can actually play with the big boys. Like seriously, prove to me that you could play. Jaden Rashada at Arizona State, 6'4", 185. He completed 44 passes, 82 attempts, which is close to 54%. 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and had a quarterback rating of 112. And I think that's in 3 games. So, okay, of course, Nico proved it in the bowl game that he got that sauce. I give him that. But as an incoming freshman, I'm not giving you that money. You better take this damn scholarship and leave me the hell alone. Or you can find some other sucker that you can get some money out of. Because you ain't going to get it out of me. Just saying. That don't make no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. So, and I'm glad in a sense. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm glad in a sense we ain't too much got to deal with NIL stuff on the HBCU level. We got it. We got collectives, but I'm glad that we ain't got to worry about that. Let's see what this poll looking like. So you got still going 38 votes in. So 71% right now is looking at Jackson State winning the baseball tournament. 26% looking at FAMU. 0% for Texas Southern, and 3% for Bama State. And trust me, they only gave me 4 options. So, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. So, let's go ahead and take another commercial break and get into the meat and potatoes of the show. SWAC rankings and the Shenanigans is about to cause again. Be right back.
It's your boy Doc Holiday. Become a subscriber on HBCU Overdrive on YouTube, and you can follow me on all social media platforms at HBCU_Overdrive on Twitter and Instagram. You can catch me on TikTok at Holiday1925 and on Facebook under my real name, David E. Smith Douglas. Also, when you become an exclusive family member, you get all the membership perks. You get all the exclusive members only videos, early access to new videos, member shoutouts, and members only live chats. And also, you can get birthday shoutouts on here and win member when you become a subscriber. You can also hit the donation to the Cash App at HBCU Overdrive. You can hit the PayPal David Smith 1925, and you can hit the Zelle David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. Remember, all proceeds go towards the channel, not the pocket.
We'll be back. All right, so look, we about to get into the whole gist of this. Why we here? It is SWAC rankings and the Shenanigans is about to cause. So we got to talk about the SWAC coaching rankings. Who should be number one? Where does Boehner come in? Here's my take on this debate. So let me go ahead and see if I can find my boy Lionel's page. Let me see if I can find that. Hold on. All right. Now, I'm going to say this before y'all chew me out. This was not made by him. This actually came from the SWAC office. I'm not saying anything bad about him. I need to make sure I get my credentials. What's going on, Miss B? Jay White, what's happening? Nah, this ain't about him. This was about the office. This is look. If you look at this, let me drop this banner, y'all. If you look at this, even though that's his signature right there, well, I'm gonna give him some credit because he did put this out. That's all him. I mean, that's all the conference. Conference got something to do with that. Not him. He was just a messenger. You could tell by looking at the font and everything. All this right, that little bottom part, that's him. Everything else, that's coming from the conference. But uh oh, he said it was his ranking. Okay, let's see. If it's his ranking, he wrote this. If it's this ranking, all right, let's talk about it. So his ranking, of course, he's going to be biased. I mean, he's a Prairie Viewer. He's going to be biased. That's my boy. And shout out, congratulate him, man, for having a newborn bundle of joy coming into his life. So he got a baby girl that came last week. I mean, like 2 weeks ago. Shout out to my boy right there. He is a girl dad. He about to catch hell. But he got Bubba McDowell at number 1, Eddie Robinson Jr. at number 2, TC Taylor at 3, Coach Woody at 4, Mickey Joseph for Grambling at 5, Cedric Thomas with Alcorn at 6, Terrence Graves for Southern at 7, James Colsey the third at 8 for FAMU. Number 9 is Alonzo Hampton with Pine Bluff. 10 is Kendrick Wade with Valley. 11 is Connell Maynard of A&M, and number 12 is Chris Dishman for Texas Southern. Now, let me get this spotlight off of me. Put me back on here. So if you say this is ranking, I thought it was a hit. I thought it was from the SWAC office, but if this is ranking, cool. I mean, everybody have an opinion, but here's another question. How did the new coaches get placed higher than the current coaches? So now, in the SWAC, y'all, and this is where I need Mr. Ford at. Mr. Ford, where you at? That's where I need you at, man. Because he's going to talk. I know he'll have something to say about this, and if anybody want to join it, the conversation, and we talking football, y'all. We talking football. Anybody want to join the conversation and give me their part of the ranking instead of having it in the chat, but tell everybody, give me their part of their rankings. Let's go ahead and get it. Let's talk. Because we talking football now. And in his show, it did explain the rankings. The reason why Maynard is at number 11. The reason why he put Bubba down number 1. Of course, I think that's bias right there. And if I would have been attacked if I would have put TC at number 1. I would have been royally attacked if I put TC at number 1. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go ahead and spotlight this, and I'll put this banner back up here. So who should be number 1? First of all, this is coming up this season would be Bubba's. It would be Bubba's 3rd season. Either second or will it be Bubba's 2nd or 3rd season as a head coach? I think it would be his 3rd season as a head coach. Coming up. All right. Let's talk about this. I can't have Bubba at number 1. And can I have Bubba at number 1? First and foremost, last season, he got motorboat by FAMU, but that's when they had Willie Simmons as their head coach. Not only once, but he got beat to sleep twice. All right. Second time in the championship, in the SWAC championship game to be exact. lost his quarterback, lost his starting quarterback for the second half of the game. They was already down. I think they was already down by 14 at no by they was down by 7 at the time before the injury happened. Uh so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So so goes to the SWAC championship game as the head coach for Prairie View. The year before that, it was uh, Coach Dooley with Southern, and then the year before that, it was Coach Dooley. Uh, so 22, 23, 24. So this is Bubba's third year. This is Bubba's third year. He did go to the SWAC championship game from the West. But what can we say about the West? The West is terrible. The Western Division of the conference is terrible. It was terrible. All right. And I ain't gonna say that he backdoored in. I mean, he won the West outright, but that division was terrible. Um, Eddie Robinson number 2. Now let's talk about what Eddie Robinson has done in his 3 seasons at the helm at Alabama State. That's his alma mater. All right. What has he done? Don't go into that Wikipedia. All right. So this is his third year coming in as head coach for Alabama State. 22, he came in. He was 6-5, so he was 4-4. So he was tied for third in the conference. We all knew that. That was the Jackson State Invitational. You know, I'm just gonna be real with you. Last season he was 7-4. Now he had a couple of games last season where that 7-4 record could have been 8-3, or it could have been 9-2. Right? Let's just put it into context. He has, since he's been in the league, since he's been a head coach at Alabama State, he has improved every year. He has improved both years. So where they was at before he took over, I think they were 5-6 under Donald Hill Ely. When he got fired, then Eddie Robinson came in. We all had the running joke that he was a real estate investor and that he didn't know anything about football. But I'm like, well, the man played football. He played majority of his life with football. He actually broadcast football games. So he knows, I think he would know something about football. And he's like in his 50s and stuff like that. I think he would know something about football. So he comes in, he goes 6-5. They say, hey, lucky break. But you know what I'm saying? They have some issues offensively, especially at the QB spot. We all know what happened with that. And then last season, he did not want to repeat from the season before. He did not want to repeat for 22. So he went 7-4. I mean, it's a 1-game improvement in the win column. You know, 5-3, so he was tied for second. So Jackson State and Bama State was tied for second in the East. All right, as far as conference records go. on both conference and overall record. But they were the true number 2 team in the division because they did beat Jackson State in the season during homecoming. So we're not going to talk about that. So what does he have to do in order for him to get over that hump? In order for him to take that number one spot, that number one mantle as one of the for top head coach in the conference, what does he have to do? First and foremost, you can't lose to Miles. You cannot lose to Miles College. You cannot do that. That is a no. You cannot lose to Miles College. Number two, he has to be FAMU. In the 2 seasons he's been the head coach, he has not beaten Florida A&M. And the only team since they've been in the conference that has beaten FAMU is Jackson State. So he has to beat Florida A&M. Now, he did do one thing. He did beat Jackson State, even though, like I said, that's a fluke. I don't give a damn what anybody say. It's a fluke. But he did do that. Now, he regained the dominant in the Turkey Day Classic. All right. I mean, not in the Turkey Day, but in the Magic City Classic. So he has beaten A&M the last 2 seasons as a head coach in that Classic. So that's one thing off his. That's another thing off his list. But what else does he need to do? Because his main thing is to beat Jackson and to beat FAMU. You've already retaken the MCC. Of course, the Turkey Day Classic is really nothing because you playing Tuskegee, and you beat them almost every year, even though it is the record is kind of lopsided. But that was when Banner State was in Division 2. Hey, you crazy. The number. Oh, you funny, bro. The player named after a digit caused the team the game fumbling twice. But look, man, he in Albany. I ain't worried about him. We ain't not worried about him. Game already started, y'all. So, so what do he needs to do? But like I said, he don't need to lose the Miles. If you lose the Miles again, oh man, that's like rightful termination right there on the field. So, that's what I see. That is what Eddie Robinson needs to do. His 2 main things he needs to do this season for this season is to beat Jackson, to beat FAM. You beat those. You beat those 2 schools. You move up. You are number 1 in the coaches rankings. All right. So who do what? So I'm gonna be honest with you. He is, I think, you can say 1A, and then 1B would be TC Taylor. And what did TC Taylor do? What did TC? What did classmate? What did he do when he became the head coach? First of all, he had to retain damn near his whole team because everybody wanted to stick their toe into the transfer portal and test the waters out. I'm just saying. He had to 60 players bounced out of the program. So he had to replace it with another 60 players to come into the program. And of course, we win the SWAC challenge, the first, his first game of the season against South Carolina State. Second game, we was not successful against FAMU in the OBC. He did beat Southern. That's a rival. He won the game. He won the games. He supposed to win against Southern. He won the SWAC challenge. Did not win against. FAMU. We got boat raced out of the stadium by Texas State, even though we did put 34 points on them. We had a lot of injuries. We did lose homecoming with. You can say, look, the player named after a digit. Yeah, he fumbled twice, but I still say we could have won the game. Could have won the game. The game was close. All right. You're right. TC recruited his ass off and stopped the program from sinking when 60 players left. Don't know any SWAC coach who can do that, but I can't let him off the hook for the OC and DC last year. That is true. I mean, we will get it to let's get into that. OC Maurice Harris really didn't call the plays. I mean, he called plays, but it seemed like he had plays on a Cracker Jack box. Defensive coordinator Jonathan Bradley. It was his first time being a DC. Ran a system, a 33 stacks defensive scheme. I did not like. We didn't have the big bodies up front as far as that front six, that front seven. We were playing thin at linebacker that couldn't really tackle. And then our defensive secondary was the only thing that kind of saved us because they led the nation in interceptions. But they were hurt in the defensive secondary also. So last season for Jackson State and TC was a war of attrition. So let's get to it. Use all the players to get Texas State, Lord Jesus. So can I put Eddie Robinson at number 1? Can I put TC at 2? Or can I flip flop? And then, yeah, it was some of the worst. It was some of the worst play calling that we've seen. Plus, our actual starting quarterback didn't even start until the fifth or sixth game of the season. Some other things we did do, we boasted the second best offensive team in the SWAC last year. We were the third best points per game team on offense in the SWAC last year. Let's see. We had some other things I'm trying to figure out. Defensive wise, of course, like I said, we led the league in interceptions. We led the nation in interceptions as a defensive unit. Um, we had a decline in sacks from the year before, and I'll be honest with you, we gave up it seemed like we gave up a ton of rush yardage, but we were stout in the run game. I think we were either second or third in the conference in stopping the run. Um, our special teams play was horrible. It was horrible, but we got the initial coaching changes done for TC. He will be calling plays on the offensive side of the ball this coming up season. So a lot of people said that he's copying Willie Simmons. I don't think he's copying Willie Simmons. I just think that he trusts himself to actually call the actual plays and do. Yeah, we did a flea flicker on a couple of plays, but like I said, our offense, even though even though we probably ran the same 5 plays, our offense it was second. I think it was second in the SWAC. uh, so what I put now, let's do this. So Connor Maynard is the longest tenured coach in the SWAC, followed by Bubba McDowell, Eddie Robinson Jr., and the rest of them are either second year coaches or first year coaches. So, Lord Jesus, you're gonna be on special. You're gonna be on special teams. All right. Whitley, give me your phone. But anyway, to me, I'm gonna go like this, and the list can actually, and you can get into it. Y'all can chew me out, whatever. But my list can go like this. I'm gonna be honest with you. My list is gonna go like this. I'm gonna have Eddie Robinson Jr. at number 1 because he has a lot to prove. He has a lot to prove. The thing is, if you want to keep that number 1 spot, you got to go out there and get it done. Number 2, I'm gonna put TC Taylor at number 2. Lord Jesus, y'all get Whitley's phone. Look here, Icebox. Sit down somewhere. Okay, he lost Bubba twice as head coach, but hey, he still has a lot to prove. He has a lot to lose. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I bet when I go to SWAC Media Day, guess what? They're gonna put Eddie Robinson and his team at number 1 to end the division. He has a lot to prove. So I'm gonna put him at number one. It's his. It's his to lose. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's his to lose. I'm gonna put him at number one. Number two is gonna be TC Taylor. Number three. I'm gonna put Bubba at number three. And the reason why I put Bubba at three is because he got to replace a lot of. He has to replace his quarterback. He brought in an offensive coordinator in Anthony Whedon, coming from Campbell, who's also a Prairie View alum. From what I heard, I think he did get a QB. So I ain't gonna say he got to replace a QB, but he did get a QB out of the portal. And he's coming from up the road, from what I heard. Let's see. What else? What else we got? So I would put Bubba at 3. Number 4, I will put Raymond Woodard at 4. I love what he's doing down in Bethune. I love what he's doing in Daytona. The man ain't saying nothing. He's doing it in silence. He's doing it in silence. Now, here's the problem. Here's the logjam. From 5 through 12. 5 through 12 is logjam. So now, at number 5, you got Mickey Joseph. At number 5, Grambling. Of course, what he did as a head coach in Nebraska, it was basically to make sure that the program didn't go belly up after Scott Frost basically destroyed it. So what I would do is I would not keep I won't keep him at 5. I won't keep Mickey Joseph at 5 because he got to prove something that he can actually coach him SWAC. All right. So I'm gonna bring Connell Maynard up to 5. I'm gonna bring Connell Maynard up to 5. Only reason why I'm gonna bring him up, only reason why I got to bring him up to 5. And yeah, 5. Look, yeah, 5 through 11, you can roll the dice. 5 through 11, you can roll the dice. Number 12, Chris Dishman. He hasn't shown me anything. Last time he coached was in high school. And Texas Southern has lost a lot. All right. But we shall see what he does. And we can go back through this each week. We can go back through this each week and re-rank the coaches. All right. So this is a way too early prediction, but this is just to start it out. Get the conversation going. So as y'all see down below, make sure y'all let's donate to the Travel Initiative. If we can let's get $300 today. Let's try to get $300. I want to see if we can get $300 today. It could be 5, 10, 20, whatever you want to get. Let's try to see if we can get something today. If we can bridge that gap before the 17th of June. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get that done. I challenge y'all to let's make this happen. I challenge y'all to make this happen. All right. But let's get back to it, y'all. So I'm gonna put Connell Maynard at number 5. The reason why I put him at number 5 is he got to prove to me that what he did in spring 2020 was not a fluke. All right. You don't have the kill glass no more. You can't just sit here and say you only coach to win SWAC games. You got to go out there and prove to yourself. Because, my man, you're on the hot seat. Jay White, I know you my guy. but your boy is on the hot seat. You can't be barking at dogs at my guy Mo Carter. HBCU Bad Talk, appreciate you for your donation, sir. Appreciate you for your donation. So that's the reason why I say that. Two, let's get into it. You have gone so this ain't Winston-Salem, this ain't Hampton. So Winston-Salem was a long time ago. That was almost 15 years ago. So let's talk about it. 6-5 in 2018, 7-5 in 2019. Of course, we went 5-0. They won the conference, and they claimed themselves as HBCU national champions. Why? Because there was no Celebration Bowl in the MEAC. Didn't play. It was only 3 schools in the MEAC that played in the spring. All right. Fall 21. Let's get into it. 7-3, 22, 4-7, 23, 5-6. What does 24 look like to Connell Manning? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, he cannot go into year into 2024 losing the Magic City Classic for the 3rd year in a row. All right, he can't get clipped in the ass by Mississippi Valley again. He got to beat Jackson State. He hasn't done that since the spring season. I'm just saying, he has a lot to prove. If he want this number 5 ranking, he has a lot to prove. Because I'm telling you, looking at that schedule, and I know you're gonna tell me, well, his contract expires this year. They don't care. That you think that AD cares? If he don't win, if he does not win, if he ain't like Booby Miles, if you don't put Booby in, you won't win. If you don't give Booby a spin, you ain't gonna win. So he got to win the Magic City Classic. That's first and foremost. Because Eddie Robinson has been owning y'all for the last 2 years. You got to win that game. You got to. You got to. Let's look at the schedule from last season. And I got it on my phone. So Vanderbilt, that was a loss. You beat Lane College. You lost to Southern in Baton Rouge. You beat Pine Bluff by a touchdown for a first-year head coach. You beat Tuskegee. You railroaded them. You lose to Jackson State in the Gulf Coast Classic. Almost made it a game, but I'm not going to go there. You won against Grambling in the hole. That's not an easy thing to do right there. to win at Grambling. You won at Grambling 45-24. Lose to Alabama State again, like I said, 31-16. Lose by 2 touchdowns to be exact. Lost to FAMU by 14. Lost to Bethune by 17. And of course, you beat Valley at home by 9. But the thing is, you can't lose to Bethune. You can't lose to FAM. You can't lose to Alabama State. You can't lose to Jackson State. It's literally I'm gonna be honest with you. It's literally put up or shut up for this season. It's literally put up or shut up this season. Hey, don't. Hey, Ed. He like Candyman. Don't mention his name. No, we're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that. So at the end of the day, Maynard has a lot to prove. He has a lot to prove. All right, I'm giving him. What's happening, man?
Man, put that dude at 5.
I did put him at 5. Turn your TV down. I can hear it in the background.
Yeah, but he just need to win them 2 games, man. If he beat Fanny and JSU, we'll be in a pretty good situation. So that's all I got to say, man.
Okay, so he beat
You hear
FAMU
me?
and JSU. Yeah, I hear you. So he beat FAMU and JSU. That like you think it would change the whole trajectory.
Yeah, I mean, long story short, you can get on here and talk you to death. That's long story short. For real, I mean, he win those 2. He know what he got to do.
Okay, so last season, like I said, Vanderbilt, we already knew that's an SEC team right there. We know they're gonna
Okay,
beat
yeah, that's
Vanderbilt.
an L.
That's an L. Lane College, you better beat Lane. If you don't beat,
No, we got Kentucky State.
I'm talking about last season.
Oh,
So now, you better beat Lane. You lost to Southern in Baton Rouge, and that was by 10. Even if that was a competitive game, but hey, I don't know how Harold Blood got it going, had got it done, but he got it done some way. Pine Bluff, of course, that's another first year head coach that y'all going up against, and that game was close. Tuskegee, I think that was the only game that y'all blew somebody out. That was the only, really, that was the only game y'all blew somebody out. Of course, Jackson State, um, he fumbled the ball. He fumbled the ball within the first 2 minutes of the game. If we talk about Quincy Case, fumbled the ball the first 2 minutes of the game. It was belt to ass after that. um, Again, y'all went into the hole. Y'all played Grambling. Won that game. Hard to win it. You know it's hard to win in that environment right there. In fact, you beat them by three touchdowns to be exact. Mad City Classic, we talked about that. Lost to them by 2 touchdowns. So it was this 3-game slide that y'all went on. The 3 out of 4 games. That 3-game slide y'all went on where you lost to Bama State, FAMU, and Bethune in consecutive weeks.
I mean, we're just shaky at quarterback. I mean, the quarterback position. We didn't. It was week to week, but this season, I think we should be pretty stable at quarterback. I don't think with everything riding on this season. We got Avion Smith. He's a MAC conference champion. We got what's the other guy? Cornelius Brown. He's back. He's an OVC champion. We got Langford. He'll be back. So those 3 are they're battling out for the top position, and we'll have somebody in that position this fall. I don't think it's gonna be like last season where it was like musical chairs between 2 contestants. I mean, I think we'll have one signal caller that'll be back there calling the plays.
Right.
And man is gonna roll with him to do some things and save that job.
Well, here we go. We got my boy Lionel up in here. He said, if y'all don't start Avion, y'all tripping. He deserved to get fired. So
I
first game
mean,
of the
from what
yeah.
I saw in the spring game, I think Avion should get it. But go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. So first game of the season, y'all got Auburn. We already know that's an L. You going down to Jordan Hare.
L
Uh, you got Kentucky State at number 2 at second game of the season. Y'all win that
for the
game.
Lewis Cruz Classic win.
Y'all win that game. Now number 3 is kind of tricky because you got the CIAA South Division champs in Fayetteville State.
We don't update. We don't play them anymore. We play
Oh, that's right.
Georgetown. We play Georgetown
Georgetown College.
out of
Okay,
Kentucky.
right.
So
So
that's a dub.
so that's a dub right there. So let's say this: you start 2-1, right? You go to Austin P. You play the Governors. That's a loss. I'm gonna be honest with
Now I don't think that's a loss because I mean last time they came down here, we played them pretty well. So I think that it should be pretty well contested. We usually play up to competition when when we play out of conference. And I've seen that with FBS contestants we played opponents we played against. So I think that'll be a pretty good game. We might be able to pull that out, but I for me that it's a toss up. But you could say that's a L, but to me that's a win. Go ahead.
you. Okay. I mean, well, of course you're gonna say it's a win because you gotta have the confidence. Gotta have the confidence. So, all right, you down in fam. You in Tallahassee. Do you break that streak at home for in Tallahassee? You break that home win streak? That's a question. That's a question that need answers.
I mean, I think it'll be tough, but with them having a first year head coach, I mean, I think um, I count that as a win.
You'll count that as a
FAMU.
win. Okay,
Yes.
so all right, so you go down to Bragg and you beat them at Bragg. I mean, it's hard. From what I'm hearing, they always tell me it's hard to beat FAMU at Bragg. All right, so now we got the last installment of the Gulf City Challenge, the Gulf Coast Challenge against Jackson State. Y'all ain't winning that game.
I mean, you could say that. I mean, I'm of course I'm gonna count it as a win, but you can count it as a L. Where are we at right now? You can count that as a L, but I'm counting that as a win.
So on my standpoint, my end win loss against Auburn, 2 wins against you got Kentucky State and Georgetown College. So that's 2-1. You say that y'all could beat Austin P, so you go 3-1. I say y'all lose to Austin P, so that's 2-2. And then you say you could go down to Bragg and beat FAMU. So that's 3. I would say 3-1. No, 4-1. I would say uh um 3-2. Uh,
And at the FAMU, I got 5-1, right?
yeah, after FAMU you'll
Because I
get
count
five
that as
one.
a dub.
You count the Jackson State game as a dub. I count that as a loss. So you at 3-3 on my end. You got 5-1. I don't know how you. I don't know
Yeah,
what
5-1
good
at the
green.
JSU.
I don't know what good green you've been smoking on, but
Hey, I have faith that Maynard can pull it out and save his job and go forward with the program.
uh, so 3-3. I got you 3-3 right now on my end. You five. You say 5-1. Bethune Cookman. They come there. They come to Huntsville. I'm gonna
That's
be honest with you.
homecoming.
That's homecoming. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. Uh, y'all might lose against Bethune again.
We're not going to take Bethune lightly. I mean, we've seen up here what they're doing down in Daytona. We're not going to take them lightly, especially for homecoming. So
Y'all,
I count that as a dub too. You count that as a loss, but I count that as a dub. We're not going to take Bethune Cookman lightly. see exactly what they're doing down in Daytona.
I got y'all losing to Bethune. So what? 3-4
It's
right
six
now
and one
on
on
my
my end.
6-1 on your end, 3-4 on my end. All right, Magic City Classic. Now this is what I said, that if Maynard don't win this game, he's gonna get fired in the parking lot of Legion Field. They're gonna tell him
Yeah,
they're gonna tell him he got to go to the bus station downtown and catch a Greyhound back to Huntsville to get
of
his stuff.
course. It's the Magic City Classic. I mean, this is for all the marbles, and it's shaping up to be the East Championship against Andrew Bodies. And the last time Alabama A&M played Andrew Body, we don't have to speak on it, but
We already know.
hmm, yeah.
Y'all trashed his shoulder. We already know what happened. We know what
So
happened with that.
tell Mr. Body and company we will be ready. They don't have to guess that we won't be ready for the Magic City Classic, but it's going to be
And I'm gonna be honest with you,
fireworks.
I don't even think it's gonna be Andrew that's gonna do the damage. I think it's gonna be the defense. I think it's gonna be Bama State's defense that does the damage against y'all. So 3-5 on my end. You say what? Where you at?
It's 7-1.
7-1. 3-5 my end. 7-1 on your end. Southern down in Huntsville. I give y'all a win on that one. I give y'all the win against Southern because I don't know what to see about Southern. I don't know what Terrence Grave is doing down in Baton Rouge. I haven't heard too much anything about the quarterbacks that he has. Um, I don't know what type of defense that he's going to run. I know Jason Rollins. No, not Jason Rollins, but I don't even know who his defensive coordinator is.
You got Grambling next. Coach
No,
Stepper.
You got Pine Bluff, so I will give y'all a win on that. So what's that? Uh
It should be like 8-1. What, 8-1?
8-1 on your end, 4-5 on my end. All right. Grambling in Huntsville. Okay. Y'all did beat Grambling in the hole. Hey, beat them by 21.
We
Again, another first year
we
head
beat
coach.
we beaten them actually. We beaten them actually 2
I
straight
think
years since.
2 straight years in a row.
Yeah.
So again, we're going up against a first year head coach again, in Mickey Joseph. Even though this ain't his first rodeo in coaching football teams, he did do a good job at Langston. That was a while back, but this ain't NAIA. This is the SWAC. So I will give y'all this win because you have the momentum that you beating them twice in a row. So that would give what? Uh
Just 9-1.
9-1.
Is that 9-1? That's 9-1.
Let's see. It should be 12 games because everybody's playing 12 games this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Is it
7,
10-1?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you got 10-1. I give you 5-5. No, what's that? 5-5. Yeah, because now on my end that puts y'all at 500. Of course, you think that y'all gonna run away with the damn comp with the division, because that's what it's shaping up to be. That's what you got it shaped up to be like that. Y'all gonna run away with the division. I'm looking at
I
y'all
mean, you
barely
really look at
getting
it.
up
Go
500.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got it.
You know what I'm saying? You really look at it. Man, gets his act together. It won't be hard. I was looking at that list, that ranking list. It doesn't impress me as a SWAC fan. It doesn't impress me at all. I mean, it was like last year was like Willie Simmons and the others. This year is just the others until a coach
Mm-hmm.
stands up and everybody has Eddie Robinson as the top dog. I mean,
But he has a lot to prove
this is
though too.
yeah. I mean, no disrespect to Eddie Robinson, but come on. So me personally, I think it's wide open this year. You know, but go ahead.
So that win would
The
give
East,
y'all.
I don't think the East would be a hard. You know, I don't think it would be as difficult as people try to make it out the scene. You know, make it out for us. Go ahead.
So that would actually. So since you say, I say y'all beat Grambling and y'all probably beat Pine. Y'all will beat Pine Bluff. And y'all probably beat Grambling. So that will put on my end. That will put y'all at 6-5. That will actually put y'all over 500. Uh, and then you got Valley at Valley. They have redone everything about Valley this season for this year. Uh, no tall grass that everybody's playing on. No divots in the field and stuff like that. They got artificial turf. They got the new scoreboard, the jumbotron coming along. Uh,
Shout out to Valley.
Shout out to Valley. Do I give y'all this game? Because Valley is still a tough place to play. I don't care if it's on turf or grass. It's still a tough place to play. Mm.
We beat them last year. I mean, not that that really matters. It is Valley and Itabina, but I think we pulled that out.
Okay, so you 11-1. I give y'all 75. So I got y'all 75. Got you 75 right now. All right. Yeah, the East will have more parity this year because top teams will lose games to this 4 or 5 fifth place teams, in my opinion. All right. The Big Hornet said Valley over Alabama A&M. Now, look, Deacon Mel, I got you, coach, at number 1 on my list. My list is E-Rob at number 1 until he can prove that he can get over that hump. Number 2 is TC Taylor because he's still tweaking the roster and his coaching staff. He got some stuff to prove too. Okay, coming out 7-4. Number 3, Bubba. I got Bubba McDowell, Lionel, at number 3. The only reason why I say that is because your division is trash. Uh, Number 4, I'm gonna keep Coach Woody at number 4 because I love what he's doing down in Bethune. Uh oh. All right. Like I said, I'm gonna keep Woody at 4 because I love what he's doing down in Bethune. Number 5, I'm taking Mickey Joseph off the list at number 5. I'm gonna put Connor Maynard at number 5 because now he has to prove to me that he can actually he gotta be able to win. Got to be able to win.
Hey, hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
And the stop right there, we can throw this up. You said 7 and you said you got us at 7-5, and I said 11-1, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I said 11-1. Now I said my closing point was that the East is gonna be a toss up to me. You know what I'm saying? On that,
Right.
so that was the end of what I had to say for real. You know.
Oh no, you good, man. I understand, and I
I know.
understand what you mean. So I will put Connell Maynard at number 5 because he got a lot to prove. At number 6,
Okay.
do I keep Cedric Thomas at 6? I would keep him at 6 because of the team that he has coming back. You know, he don't have Jarvion Howard coming back, but he does have Tyler Macon coming. He does have Tyler Macon being the QB. Hopefully he's improved on his quarterback play for this coming up season. So number 7.
And by the way, Doc,
Yeah.
I just want to say before you get to 7, I agree with number 6. I'm gonna drop down, but I don't be in the box.
Okay. So, oh man, hold on, man. I'm gonna get my boy Lionel up here because he in the chat. I don't know, man. I don't know. You I don't know, man. I mean, of course, you say he beat Evi 2 years in a row, but hey, it's year three. It's year three, so we shall see what happens, man. I mean, he got to get it to me. Yeah, I'm gonna brush it off. Let me show you. Let me show you brushing it off. I'm gonna brush it off. I'm gonna brush it off. But I don't know, man. Look, it is what it is. I'm gonna just say I don't know if y'all got to. We just talking about for this season. Nah. Oh man, we about to have some fun up in here. What to do, man?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on? First of all, like I said, congratulations. You a dad. You a
Yes, I
girl dad.
appreciate it. So I can't show my face right now. I got my little one. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, you a girl
yeah.
dad. Go ahead and get your 2 pistols and an AR-15.
Hey,
I'm gonna just be honest with
listen, I got the whole squad, so we ready. You know what I'm saying? We've been practicing for this day.
you. Nah, but hey, this your list right here. So I want to debate this list. I want to debate this list right here. So
It's
this your
fine.
list.
First of all, I said, I can understand people moving around the first three if they wanted to move the first three around. I could get that, right. But my main reason that I said that I put Bubba first was just simply because Bubba had won. He won his division, right? You know what I'm saying? TC
Right.
hadn't done that yet, and E Rob hadn't done that yet. E Rob I had second because he's made progressions every year, right? You can see he's making
Yeah.
strides moving up. Went from third. He obviously got the win over Jackson last year, so he finished second in the division. That's the reason I put him second. My
Mm-hmm.
my question on the first three for you is, well, obviously us as Jackson haven't played over the last 2-3 years or whatever, right? So there's no
Right.
head to head there, but there is head to head with Alabama State, Eddie Robinson, and Bubba McDowell the last 2 years. And 2 years in a row, Bubba McDowell has actually beat Eddie Rob, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I guess I want to know, I mean, why does that not factor into the equation of, Eddie Robinson being above Bubba McDowell? Because even if you say, well, TC Taylor won Bubba McDowell too, that kind of makes more sense to me than Eddie Rob number one in that first slot.
So I will say I said I would have put TC Taylor at number one, but then I don't want people to think that because I'm being a homer. I mean, of course I'm gonna be a homer because that's my squad right there. But at the end of the day, uh, at the end of the day, you could switch around those three. You could switch around those three coaches, like for real. I don't see anything wrong with what I didn't see anything wrong with what you have, having Bubba at number one because he has won his division twice. Uh,
Mel is hilarious in the chat. So funny. Stop bringing up
so,
old stuff. You funny.
but you can flip flop that. But like I said, Eddie has a lot to prove. I mean, of course, Bubba has a lot to prove too because getting to the SWAC
For sure.
championship game, getting to the SWAT championship game, and losing again in the SWAT championship game, um, um, is that that and losing to the same team twice in the same season. That basically is that kind of gets everything gets to talking. TC on the other hand, the only two I say the only two blemishes other than FAMU and Texas State because I really don't want to count Texas State because And the FAMU game, if you look at the FAMU game, it was just one half of football that was being played for FAMU, and it seemed like in the second half they stopped playing football. It was a game against Bama State, and it was a game against Alcorn. Like we lost those two games, and we lost by, that was close. So against Bama State, we lost that game by 5. Uh, could have had the game in hand if Seven McGee fumbled the ball twice.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two critical fumbles that he had. And then the actual offensive play calling that Maurice Harris was doing, made me want to pull all my dreads out. And then against Alcorn, it was just like they came out and hit us in the mouth from the beginning. So even though the game was close, because it was 28-24 towards the end of the game, we could have won the game but it was the SWAC refs is a pain in my ass. So like I said, you could flip flop those three, and like you could have this ranking for every week for each week of the football season and see where it go, where they at.
For sure. It can definitely change around. I agree with that. So I will add also, right, in my defense, or in my in uplifting Bubba in this situation, right, is okay. Like I say, the head to head with Eddie Robb, he's won those two. That's like a direct response. Then with TC, right, those games we haven't played, but in those games or those teams we played against, we both played, right, we have won. We beat Alabama State and Alcorn, whereas TC lost
We
both those
lost
games.
two.
Obviously,
Okay.
both of us lost to FAM, right? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So those are other two things. So for me, again, I'm not trying to be biased either, right? Obviously, everybody got some type of bias. That don't make sense if you say you don't have any bias. That'd be crazy.
True.
But my reasons for putting him there, I'm giving legit reasons. I'm not like making up something random, right? Because those three, to me, in anybody's list, are gonna be the top three, period. Right? You can't put anybody else in the top three, right? So out of those three, my reasons for putting him one of those three is that. But now him and E Rob got a lot to prove. E Rob lost to a D2 school. Bubba got killed out of conference, right? So
Right.
all of them got the whole SWAC list. I like the MEAC coaches list way better than SWAC coaches list. Period. Point blank. Right? You know what I'm saying? So I totally agree with everybody that's saying, this don't really do it for me. I agree. Right? I really think the SWAC, it's just, we don't really have those. We're not really hitting like that right now. Hey, in the next few years, if Eddie Robb keep doing this thing, Bubba, TC Taylor, Cozy, right, then we could change and say, man, we got some fire coaches, right? But at least for right now, it don't look as great, right? You know what I'm saying, on paper, as I think we all want it to look. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's for my first three. But at least y'all get my reasons, right? Yeah, at least y'all understand I ain't just saying something randomly. You know what I mean?
Right. So then Raymond, Coach Woody down in number 4. That's something I agree with right there. Like I said, he in the second year, he had a lot of injuries on his team last season, especially on the quarterback. But I like like I said, I like what he's doing in Daytona. He been doing it quiet. He doing it his way. That lets you know that we didn't need no celebrity type dude like he who shall not be named to be a head coach, because he got himself ran out of the conference, out of Bethune. But
So this is also why I kind of graded everybody on the curve, right? That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I looked at my list. Like, I didn't grade Kendrick Wade the same way I graded TC Taylor. I mean, I'm not going to grade him at Valley at the same way I grade TC Taylor at Jackson State. It's just two different things. So Raymond Woody, you can't look at what he did at Bethune-Cookman and not consider the fact that, first of all, he was brought in February, right?
yep.
We
So
all
he
know
was
what
way
happened
late.
with Ed Reed and all that. he had no time to do anything. Had people jump in the portal. I mean, double digit players jump in the portal, right? So this is really his first time to get a chance to actually get a real recruiting class in the Bethune-Cookman. But then I also looked at him just from how he coached his team, right? His
Mm-hmm.
team was a team that played again. His talent wasn't where it needed to be, but as far as the team itself and how they went out and played hard, they was definitely undermanned, right, and not as talented. But I'm just looking at how they played, right? How he coached them up, how he was able to calm that storm at Bethune-Cookman that everybody's looking at that was looked like a hurricane that come through, essentially, right? You know what I'm saying? So to
Mm-hmm.
me, that's why I was like, okay, man, he did very well. And then to look at what he's done this offseason, I'm like, that's because Bethune-Cookman is a good program. Like
Right.
that is not a slouch program. There wasn't a slouch program in the MEAC. That's a program that can quickly be back in a position where they could be trouble in the East. And I feel like he's moving them in that direction. So I think they're definitely going to do a lot better this year. I could definitely easily see them winning 5 or 6 games this year, right? I don't think they're gonna, win the East or finish top 3, anything like that, right? But I definitely think they have a chance to finish 4th in the East, right? Have a chance to beat one of the teams that's even in those top 3, right? I definitely could think they can get one of those games. So that's kind of why I view Raymond Woody and why I put him right there. But everything for me, right, is I'm grading on the curve, right, based on his
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at his situation as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I mean, and like I said, I like what he's doing down there. He's not doing it real, he's not doing it just all out there. He's doing it quietly, and he's getting some players that were, 4 stars from other places and stuff that actually had that actually have uh, game tape on themselves, and not just practice tape. Because when you're looking for somebody at practice tape, you're looking at potential. If you're looking for somebody with game tape, you're looking at productivity. Um, so you got Mickey Joseph at number 5, and we knew what he did at Nebraska because he took over a squad. He first of all, with the Nebraska situation, he basically took that team over because Scott Frost ran it into the ground. Um, was he successful with with his interim tag in Nebraska? You could say yes and you could say no, but I can understand what you say with him because he also coached at Langston. He's been in the HBCU world. His brother is Vance Joseph, who's one of the top DCs in the NFL. So he has that type of pedigree. Now, with him coming into the SWAC as a first year head coach in the SWAC, I will put him maybe at number 7. I will put Maynard at number 6. I mean, at number 5, because like I said, he still got a lot to prove. I would keep Cedric Thomas at number 6 because of the team that he has coming back, minus Jarvion and some other players. But you still look at he still has Malachi Bailey on the defensive line. He has Terrence Ellis as linebacker. He has a lot of pieces that's coming back on that defense, and he was a defensive coordinator. So those kids bought into his defense. Now let's talk about 7 through 11. We got Terrence Graves from Southern. We saw what he did in the Bayou Classic as the interim head coach at Southern. Should they just had let him be the official head coach after the game? I think Southern kind of dropped the ball on that. I think they dropped the ball when instead of instead of making him the actual head coach after the game, you waited maybe almost a month, close to a month later, and named him the head coach.
Well, Southern didn't want him to be the head coach, though.
And
That's
they
the
didn't want him
reality.
to be the head coach.
They were going after somebody else who shall not be named. But yeah,
Okay, so now number 8. We got James Cozy the third. Now, his last time he coached a team as a head coach, it was in Canada. You know, he had Drake over there at his football games. I'm just joking, but at the I don't know what Cozy can do. I mean, I'll tell you what he can do as a what was his position with FAMU on that coaching staff? Was it was
I believe it's
offense
deep.
or something like
I
that?
believe it was associate head coach, and I want to say it's DBs. I believe DBs and associate head
DBs,
coach.
yes, yeah. So, I don't know what he can do. Now, the main thing for me with FAMU in this case is who is going to be your quarterback? Because I've seen some of those quarterbacks. I've seen the quarterback he brought from was it FIU? Which one of those Florida schools?
Florida Atlantic.
Florida Atlantic. He ain't looked too impressive to me. So the quarterback that I would say he needs to go with is right there. That's been with the program um, since he enrolled on campus there 3 years ago, and that's Junior Maritovich. He needs to be the actual quarterback. Um, Alonzo Hampton, I would see at number 9 because he with Pine Bluff. Some of the things that hurt Pine Bluff is your top linebacker core was gone. Isaac Peppers left to go to Jackson State. Monroe Beard left to go to um, Tennessee State. Rico Dozier over at Alabama State. So you lost your top linebacker core from, I would say, I think from the spring season because they all played. I think they all played in the spring season. Um, what do you have to replace? Of course, then you started a freshman as QB, so it was the quarterback situation with Pine Bluff that kind of got him in some hot water. Kendrick Wade at number 10. Um, we talking about Valley. Let's keep it a buck. Everybody gonna say it. We talking about Valley. Um, I mean, I think with Valley, they had games last season where uh, they lost by at least either 10, 7 or less. Ms. Keisha, I appreciate you for the donation. But at the end of the day, he's done a lot of recruiting. I like what he got, and the best thing about him is he has this freshman QB who's now a sophomore coming back. In fact, he has 2 QBs where he can actually pick and choose from. But I'm gonna go with the latter. I'm gonna go with Tajarian Williams, the big kid, 6'3", 240, lefty. I'm gonna go with him.
They also brought in, I think, the a QB from Northford, I think, too.
Right.
So yeah,
So I would say Wade is safe. I'm gonna say Alonzo Hampton is safe too because I think they have a lot invested in Coach Hampton. You just got to get those kids to be on program on the program side. Of course, at number 11 you got Connell Maynard, but I said we moved him up to number 5, so that would mean to me I will put
it's way too high. Way too high.
way too high. But I understood why you said that because since spring 20 since the spring season he hasn't done anything since. He hasn't done nothing since. I understand the reason why you did that.
I mean,
Uh,
Connell Maynard can move up, right?
he
But
can
he
move
would
up.
move. He could move up not based on anything he does. He could move up just based on us seeing Kendrick Wade another year, us seeing Alonzo Hampton another year, right? But that don't mean anything, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that's not moving up because you have merited something based on what you have done with your program on the field. And Maynard to me has, again, I'm judging on curves, right? He has way higher expectations than those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
the facilities that he has access to, right? You know, that's not the same as a Valley or even as a UAPB, right? So you know, I'm looking at Maynard and expecting more. I'm looking at Maynard and saying, man, Maynard, I need to see from you what I'm seeing from Erod, which is you're making strides moving forward. And I understand, yes, he won the spring championship, but again, I have to, I was never trying to down the championship, even though I know that's how people took it. You know, I was just being funny. But at the end of the day, right, we have to talk about the circumstances. That's just the reality, right? The circumstances was it was during COVID. Teams had to cancel games. There were some games that some players couldn't play those games. It's just the reality of the situation. It doesn't take away from the fact that they won the championship. The SWAC gave them a title, right? It is what it
Hmm.
is. But that's the Let's be real. That's the circumstances, right? You know what I mean? So I can't judge that the same way I judge that if that was won in the fall and doing a full schedule against all teams, you know what I'm saying, during that time. I can't judge it in the same way, in the same manner. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So so outside of that though, what has he done in the last 3 years? So that's what I use to judge to basing most of my judgment off
Right.
of, right? And he hasn't done well, right? Again, if we take away that 2021 spring here and in Hampton, he hasn't bowled well, right? He was great at Winston-Salem State, but since Winston-Salem State in the MEAC with
Yeah, he did.
Hampton, he was just okay, right? And in Alabama
Yep.
A&M, he's been okay minus the Kill Glass and the spring championship. That's just me being honest. I like Connell Maynard as an individual person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? At least as much as I know him, right? I don't know him like that. So I have nothing against him as a
Hmm.
person, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm just judging based on his results and what he's shown as a coach that's been in the SWAC for what about to be 6 years, right? Like,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? To me, I feel like Alabama A&M folks should be in agreement with me. Like, yeah, we need to see something from you, or it's time for you to go. I mean, I don't understand why y'all. I don't understand why y'all disagree with me. Because do you want him to stay there and be mediocre, and still be behind Jackson and Fam and Alabama State and maybe Bethune Cookman now for another 2-3 years? That don't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, move on and find somebody that's gonna take you back to the top.
What up, man? What's happening?
Peace, family. Hope everybody's doing all right. Much blessings. Yeah, Maynard. I mean, he has a lot to prove. Um, where he sits in the SWAC, um, he has a tall hill to climb. Especially when you look at their their schedule this season coming up.
Hmm.
That's a tall mountain to climb for a guy who's already on the hot seat. I mean, you're looking at you got to play Auburn. You got to see them. So, I mean, we know what that's going to be about. Like, let's cut straight to the chase. We know how that's going to go. That's going to be bad news. You get the check, that's great, but it's bad news. You may get a win at Lewis Cruz Classic, against Kentucky State. Then you turn around, Georgetown College. I mean, it is what it is. Austin P that's probably a loss. And then you get into the meat of your conference schedule, and you got two back-to-back heavy hitters on the
With
road,
Jackson State and FAMU.
right? And I mean, both of those on the road. So we talking, yo. And then you play Bethune Cookman for homecoming. So Coach Woody, I mean, he's been quietly recruiting some
Hmm.
decent players, and you're talking about those decent players might come up to Lewis Cruz Stadium and drop you a L at homecoming. That's a week before, well, excuse me, 2 weeks before Magic City.
Now you remember what happened last time they had somebody come in and for their homecoming.
Yeah,
It ain't look pretty.
yeah. And that's what I'm saying. And you got a team that is potentially a silent killer for homecoming, and then you turn around 2 weeks later, then you got to see Alabama State. You got to see Alabama State. You know how that's gonna go. I mean, you know, I ain't gonna brag about it, but we know what it's gonna be. But then you turn around and then you invite Southern. Then you go on the road. Then you invite Grambling. Then you go down to Itabena. I mean, it's looking like this season is set up for a make or break for the Connell Maynard era at Alabama A&M. So, I mean, if he pulls it off, great. I mean, that'll be phenomenal. But if he doesn't, I mean, he's gonna go down. He's gonna go down in a blaze of glory. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, and I now I get reason why Lionel put him at number 11. Prove to me that you can win at least 7 games without a kill glass.
Oh, 100%. You got to do something. I mean, because where you are now, it's put up or shut up. Like, yep, your fans can get behind you and chant Bulldog Nation and all that good stuff, but you got to put the product on the field. Same thing with Mickey Joseph. I think Mickey Joseph will be, in my ranking, he will be toward the bottom because he has to put product on the table year one. Because of year one for him at Grambling, if it's abysmal, he's going to be with a short leash on him as well. Because Grambling is in a position where those fans are hungry to get back to the days of glory of Grambling as an institution, as an athletic program. So they're hungry for that. So if you don't deliver that year one or even give them a glimpse of what it looks like to get back to that, he's probably going to be on a short leash too.
Well, they gonna be starving. So I don't know what to tell Graham fam
Mm,
because it
man,
ain't happening. But
that's tough.
this is I've always said this, and I think we talked about this a while back, Doc. My personal opinion is, I think Grambling should have not moved on from Hugh Jackson.
I
I'm like
said
one
that.
of probably
I
a
agree.
very few amount of people who
I
said
agree.
that. But I think Hugh Jackson was building something. Grambling, listen, like what he was doing to me was moving forward. He lost the Bayou Classic. I get that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to me, Grambling made progress from his year one to his year two. Now you essentially almost got to start over. And then they gave him a 2-year contract. And they're acting like, well, you want Mickey Joseph to win the SWAC in 2 years? Like, to me, that just it's not logical. Like, you got to give your coaches a little bit more time than that. You know what I'm
You do.
saying? Like, this is not. I don't know if they falling for that. Hey man, Dion came in and did this, and so we got listen, man. No, that's the more logical model is more toward Buddy Pugh than of Deion Sanders. This is the reality, right? So I think you need to give your coaches a little time. So if Graham Fam going to do that, they're gonna just keep disappointing themselves. Which again, I don't really care. I'm just telling you the reality, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But hey, if you want to do that, that's fine. You know what I mean? Because I mean, we're gonna keep winning the rest anyway. But I'm just saying, for it to be more competitive, it'd be better if y'all let him stay for a little while and start to cook in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? You let stuff simmer longer, the food tastes better. Last time I checked. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to pop stuff in the microwave, get stuff out. Nah, it ain't gonna taste as good.
And
That's
you know what?
100%. That's 100%. Like I agree with you. Like you do have to give them a chance to get their system really going, get your guys in. Because if you only have short tenures, then yeah, I mean you got microwave popcorn expecting it to be five-star quality, and it's not going to happen. So, um, like I say, Mickey Joseph got to put product on the table year one, and that's why I said that is because to let Hugh Jackson go, you should be expecting something really major from Mickey Joseph. If he doesn't deliver, then uh, you probably wasted an opportunity.
Yep. We shall see, man. We shall see what he does. Let's see what we got. We got 58 on Twitter, and I know we got a little bit over 40 on YouTube, cover broadcasting on both channels. If we could get at least uh, um, 10 people to donate $10 for the initiative, we can get some cracking. And then of course, like I said, at number 12, you got Chris Dishman. Texas Southern got a lot to prove. They got a lot to do. They got a lot to. They got a
We might
lot.
we might we might put we might put 60 on them. I'm just let y'all know right now.
They
Might put
got a
60 on them.
lot going on down there, man. Oh my goodness, man! I ain't never heard Third Ward be that quiet right now. But yeah, he got a lot. He got a lot to prove. Hopefully, SWAC newcomer of the year, Jace Wilson. He kind of repeat what he did last season and did some. But in the West, I'm gonna be honest with you. In the West, I got Prairie View winning the West. I don't know what the record's gonna be, but I got Prairie View winning the West. They might win 8 games this season. Y'all might win 8 games. It depends on I got to see what the schedule is again. But y'all might win 8 games this season. Y'all might go 8-4, or y'all might go 9-3. It all depends. All depends. First of all, it depends on winning that State Fair Classic, which I think y'all will do. Last season to me was a hiccup. And also, of course, this will be year 10 that y'all gonna beat Texas Southern.
That's facts.
This is gonna be year 10 that y'all gonna beat Texas Southern.
By the way, it's not. We don't just have a winning streak against Texas Southern. There's another school we have a long winning streak against too that have a representative on here. But I'm not. I'm not gonna mention. You know, what I'm saying anything or any numbers or anything.
Yeah, we gotta see what, and we gotta see what Bama State gonna do too. Because hey, y'all got the target on y'all back now. Y'all have it. The division is for y'all to lose in the East.
It is.
So
No, you think so?
Well,
I mean,
I
it's
think
gonna
that's
be
a
it's
very
gonna.
even race. I think that's a so tight. I think that race is so tight right now. Fam, Jackson, Alabama State. I really think it's so even.
I don't know.
I don't think there's any front runner right now,
Well,
personally.
yeah. Well, yeah. Think of it like this. So with fam, with their with their turnover, head coaching, players. I mean, that's a lot of chaos. I mean, they have other things that are very chaotic as well. They have 237 reasons to be unchaotic.
That's hilarious.
I'm just saying, like, so with all of that, um, I definitely will give TC his flowers. Like, um, Jackson State as a whole has built a lot. They have a lot going for them. So I definitely see a lot. But I'm saying in the grand scheme of things, based off of what we've seen just last year, yes, it is Alabama State's to lose. And that will depend. And I think a lot of that is going to be decided early in the season, not later in the season. I think it'll be decided early in the season, not later.
Yeah. Um, and then with my squad, I'm gonna be honest with you. We gotta redeem ourselves against FAMU. We gotta redeem ourselves against Bama State, and we definitely gotta redeem ourselves against our little brother Alcorn. Uh, I'll be honest with you. Them 2 games had me pissed, man. And the FAMU game had me upset, but I saw a glimmer of hope in that second half when our defense kind of just turned it on and shut them down. Made Musa look one dimensional. not even one dimensional, no dimensions at all. um, and basically they kind of stopped the bleeding. But the team that we looking at, the team that we got, I love what we have. Especially with some of the players that we are getting out of the transfer portal, some of the players that we are getting out of JUCO, and some of the players we got from high school. So TC is on a 60-40 plateau. He wants the 40 to come from JUCO and high school. The 60 come from transfer portal grad. Look. And the thing about it is, can you gel with the team? That's all it is. That's all it is. We got our QB, and I think our QB is going to have some competition. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Bringing in the kid from Eastern Michigan, the QB from there, will probably light a fire under Jacoby Morgan to make sure that he's well prepared for the season that's upcoming. I'll be honest with you. I do like what FAMU is bringing into on the team, but we're gonna see what happens when you don't have that play caller in Willie Simmons. You got to see what you can do without him, because he was there for 6 years. He was there for 6 years, and then 6 years, 5 of those years y'all had winning seasons. So.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I mean, that turnover, I mean, that's a lot to replace. I mean, because he trusted his play calling over anyone else to say, look, I'm calling the plays from the field. That says a lot. So, in Junior Maritovich, whoever is back there, like, Cozy has to be able to corral everything in and get the troops ready, because I mean they have a hell of a schedule too. And one slip up, especially in the East, you're looking at maybe third or fourth place quickly, because it can happen. And so,
Right.
I think the product that comes out of the SWAC this year, this is just my personal opinion. I think the product that comes out of SWAC this year is going to be much better than we've seen before. And I think the Celebration Bowl representative from the SWAC will be a formidable opponent. That's just my opinion. I don't think it's going to be a gimme game for the MEAC. You can take a month off, whatever you want to do. But I think whoever comes out of the SWAC, the MEAC is going to have to bring their lunch. You might have to bring, a to-go plate as well, because, there's going to be some hitting going on, of course, with the guys coming in from the portal. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to beat a team from the SWAC this year.
Yeah, so when you look at it, those 3 teams in the East got to prove themselves. Bama State, because I'm going to be honest with y'all. I get down to Birmingham, right? I'm going to get to Birmingham. Hey, bro, don't let me forget to hit you up when I get to Birmingham.
Absolutely.
But when I get to Birmingham, I bet you my bottom dollar that those reporters, that the media is going to name Alabama State number 1 in the Eastern Division, and they're going to name Prairie View as number 1 in the West.
Nah, it's not going to happen.
I promise you. No, for real. The media is going to do that.
The West,
sure
the East, they're going to name, Alabama State would definitely be the East for sure.
Right,
I don't think they're going to name PV the West.
No, they're going to. I promise you. I promise you, they're going to name y'all the number 1 team in the West.
PV is right there. PV is right there. So, I mean, they're not far off.
But who in the West do you put at as the top? If it ain't Prairie View, who in the West
I
do you
think
put at the
I
top?
really they're gonna put. I can see them put. I could literally see them putting Grambling, Alcorn, and then PV. I mean, that's just based on historical. You know,
Mm,
that's just reality. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna look and say the two quarterbacks coming back that we have knowledge of that we are gonna list as 1-2 is gonna be Miles Crowley and Andrew Body, right?
Well, Andrew Body is in the East. Well, yeah,
No,
but
no, I know, but I'm so
yeah.
I'm
I see
saying
what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
those are going to be the two quarterbacks that they say, hey, those are the two top returning quarterbacks outside of other new guys that's coming in that we still that everything is still out on. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Um, and then obviously with Alcorn didn't. It's not like Alcorn lost
They
much
didn't
of
lose
that
a lot.
all, right? You know what I'm saying? And they brought in they brought in some guys that are gonna play big minutes for them too as well. So I'm just saying off of what I've seen in the past. You know what I'm saying? So I can definitely see them doing a Graham Alcorn PV or even an Alcorn Graham PV. I don't see them putting PV first in the West. That's what it is. I mean, obviously, I would put us first in the West, right? But what I mean, I don't see the media doing that.
Oh well, it's not my bad. It ain't the media. It is the coaches and the SIDs. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they're gonna put y'all first in the West.
Whoever put it together. You know what I'm saying? Them peoples.
They gonna put y'all first in the West. It was surprising to me last year. So last year when I went when I was down in Birmingham, it was surprising to me. Of course they put, of course I'm like, FAMU gonna be number one in the East. Look, we lost 60 folks off our team. um, and then in the West, I think they had um, was it Southern in the West, and we all knew what happened when it came down to it with Southern. Dooley was going to Dooley it up, which he did. Grambling just couldn't get over that hump. And Alcorn, when you get beat by 34 on a Sunday in a rainstorm down in Houston to them boys from the third ward with no Andrew Body, but you got the Darius Owens, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
but the
and you can't
quarterback
say
at Tech, but
and
the
you can't
quarterback
say
at
that you
Texas
wasn't
Southern
prepared.
legit.
Yeah, you can't say that you wasn't prepared for it because it's football. You either gonna play on a Saturday, you gonna play on a Sunday, you gonna play on a Friday, you gonna play on a Thursday. It don't matter. You gotta
I
be
will
prepared.
say, I will say though, Prairie View catches Alcorn at the right time this season. I mean, you're talking about right before Jackson State. Excuse me, before Alcorn plays Jackson State, but right after Alcorn plays Texas Southern on November 16th. I think if Alcorn is riding high, um, they'll basically be rebounding from the first quarter of their season because their first quarter of the season is pretty damaging. Those first two games, kind of shaky for them. They got UAB on the road, then they go on the road to play Vanderbilt, then they come home to play Edward Waters. But where PV catches Alcorn, I think if there is any parity in the West between Alcorn and PV, I think PV catches them at the right time, so they have the ability to leapfrog them based off of the way the schedule sets up. So I actually like the way their schedule is set up. So I expect Prairie View to. I'll pick Prairie View to win a close game, but they
Hey,
but they get them at the right time.
so Lionel, y'all got Alcorn at Prairie View. Cause y'all got what? Southern at Prairie View, Alcorn, and
Yeah, we got Alcorn, we got Texas Southern, FAMU, and Alcorn, Texas Southern, FAMU, and what's I'm
Southern.
missing?
Southern.
Yeah, Southern. Yeah, Southern.
Yeah. Y'all got them at home.
Yeah,
Hey,
and Grambling at
and
home
Grambling.
too.
Well, y'all the home team for the state fair.
We always the home team because I'm Dallas.
See. See. Well, look, I'm gonna just say this. We know what the situation is when y'all play Southern. They try to take over Prairie View. They call it Baton Rouge West. Uh, it's gonna be some tussling on the fit before the before the game even start. Already gonna have your big tuck ready on the field. Uh, and then Alcorn, like I said, I think y'all can get Alcorn. Y'all schedule, like I said, your home schedule favors. Um, but like I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. They gonna name. I'm gonna be honest with you. If they don't name Grambling, they don't name Alcorn. They gonna name y'all number one in the West. That's just how I see it.
I mean, they got the potential to.
That's how I see it. Hey, Lana, was you going to go to try to go to media day, or
No,
you
sir.
just gonna catch it on just gonna catch it on ESPN?
Nah, I'm just gonna watch that online. I will be at the hizzy.
Oh man,
Listen, man, I will say for media day, I mean, you know what? If if the administration is listening, please, for God's sakes, have a legitimate background you've had all year to have a decent background. Like,
I'm
let's
trying to
not
get
do
my
this.
credentials, man.
Oh no, I want you to get your credentials, but I'm saying this independently. My words do not reflect HBCU overdrive. I'm saying this independently. I'm saying this to the SWAC. Please, let's do a better job at preparing and being forthright and at the forefront. We have the ability to do that. In fact, call me. I drive over there and help you out. I help you out because there's no reason for us to have second or third rate presentation when we have the ability to be elite. So let's do that. Let's do that so we can present ourselves because the product that we present is top notch. I mean, we're not bringing slouch product. So let's do that. That's all I'm saying. Whether it be basketball, football, baseball, whatever it is, um, let's present it properly. Let's not have, anything that's, you know, second rate. Like, let's up our game a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
All right, man. But I know I'm about to roll up out this thing. This game is close right now. We down by 2. I would not say Ant-Man is a slouch because he is the truth. Uh, Come on. So I was upset last night that Indiana gave up the draws to Boston when they had the lead and they lost it in overtime. And I was like, I knew these niggas don't want to win the game. They didn't want to win the game. So, hey, I was upset about that. Uh, Let me get y'all predictions on the NBA. Eastern Conference, Western Conference. Who do you think gonna go to the finals?
I got Minnesota and Boston.
All
I
right,
concur.
I'll let that slide. You concur?
I concur.
Uh, okay. Well, I got Dallas versus Boston in the finals. I say this because I say this. Yes, I'm a Mavericks fan. I'm a homer. I'm gonna pick them regardless. It don't matter. This team reminds me of our 2011 team, where it was Dirk. When we got Tyson Chandler, it's kind of like, in a sense, we got Tyson Chandler. Jason Kidd was on the squad, and then we had all the pieces around, Deshaun Stevenson and all these other players, Jason Terry, JJ Barea, Sean Marion. We had these players on the team. This team reminds me of that team. This year's team, this year, 2024 squad reminds me of the 2011 squad, where we got two legit superstars, Kyrie and Luka. I'm gonna say Kyrie is a superstar because the man got in the ring. And people say he plays second fiddle to LeBron, but it is what it is. To me, I think once we got Daniel Gafford come in to play defense, will we traded when Oklahoma City drafted Derek Lively and then traded him to us. I think that was a great piece right there for our defensive efforts, and then getting Derek Jones Jr., who I call the Human Highlight Film Volume 3, getting him. And the main piece, I say this, the main piece that kind of catapulted us to where we at now, getting PJ Washington from Charlotte, getting him out of Charlotte, getting him out of that toxic situation. Don't care if his baby mama Brittany Renner, don't matter. The man is balling. He at home, to be exact. He from Dallas. So playing at home in a good environment was the right piece for it. And I think that was the final piece that we needed to get us where we at right now. But y'all gonna go with Minnesota and stuff. All right. We
I'm
shall
just saying,
see.
y'all. That's where I'm going with it. Because to be honest with you, man, I haven't kept up with a lot of the NBA, but that's how I'm playing it because I'm denouncing, bro. I'm I'm a pious brother. It's demonic to watch the NBA and the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't want to be a part of that. The Lord has called me out from them.
See, man, but hey, Lionel, man, again, congratulations, bro. How much sleep
Yeah,
have you
appreciate
gotten
y'all.
since the baby been here?
Oh yeah, that's been one of the toughest things. Just really the night part. You know what I'm saying? So, but I've been managing, so trying to go to sleep a little early and get like naps in because I'm not used to like having a nap to get energy. I'm used to sleeping through. So that's kind of the biggest hurdle. But she hasn't been here like a little bit over 2 weeks, right? So it's still super early on. So I feel like I'm getting better every day. You know what I'm saying? But we got on like a feeding schedule and stuff, so it's been going well outside of that. You know what I mean?
That's dope,
Hey, man.
man. Congratulations, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, when you in your 30s and your 40s, bro, them naps they come clutch. I promise you. I be here at home, and I could be off from work. I don't have to go to work. I don't go to my main job. I don't go to the part time. Like literally, I will be in the house and I will go to sleep at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and wake
Hey,
up around 4 and feel fresh.
hey, them
like
old men used to do it, and hey, I used to laugh about it, but now, hey, I need to get mine in.
Like, man, when I'm telling you, I get my in, I'm getting it in. And then I'm off this whole weekend for Memorial Day. I probably go work at my second job because they asking for people to come in. It's at Target. So, but when them naps come in, bro, I ain't gonna complain about the naps. them things is man, them things be A1.
Hey, and if anybody is in the chat that's 20 years old, in your 20s, let me tell you, you might want to stretch because when you get in your 30s and 40s, you're going to wish like hell that you stretched in your 20s.
Man, I can't help it, man. And then like to have a new, like the crazy thing is to have a newborn and you like, bro, you in your 30s, so you in your mid 30s, and to have a newborn in your mid 30s, you make sure you have all the energy in the world when when she get ready to start crawling and start walking. Make sure you have all that energy.
Facts.
Make sure
Yeah,
you have all that energy.
that's what I'm waiting for. I can't wait to that time. I'm ready.
Sure, you gonna be trying to chase after her, be
I'm ready.
like, hey, hold on now, hold on, hey, say, girl, get over here. You ain't gonna like you when you call her, you ain't gonna have nothing in the completeness. It's gonna be like, hey, hey, get 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 no. It ain't gonna come out in complete sense. It's gonna come out just like that. I think I did that with my youngest daughter with Peyton, and I was like, ooh, I don't know what I got myself into, man. And then it's so crazy because from my first daughter and my second daughter, I got a 13-year age gap. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought shit was gonna be sweet, and Peyton was like, "Nah, not today, Daddy. Like you gonna catch all this smoke right here, and I'm catching every last bit of it too."
But one
But
thing about it, I will say that as a seasoned black man, that's what a daughter needs and a father is a seasoned black man. And I'm happy for you, bro, because you can give her the game. God knows if the Lord bless me with a daughter, I promise you, I'm gonna break somebody's son hard. That will break their heart because I'm gonna dog him out. My daughter gonna know everything. So, but I think that's good for you because you know the ins and outs and you can raise it the right way. I know you'll do a good job. So, keep doing what you do, man. Just get them naps in when you can.
man, we gonna get up
Nah,
though out of
I
here.
appreciate that, man. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that love, and it's a blessing, you know, because mom, I was talking to my mom too, and she was talking about how, man, back in the day, man, guys didn't go to baby showers, nothing, and I was like, man, this is a new generation then, because listen, most baby showers, most things I go to, it's like, bro, it's everybody, right? You know what I'm saying? We all there, you know what I mean? So even
Mm-hmm.
going to the bourbon classes, everything, it's just completely new, but I love it because and it's us as black men, what I mean, that's there. That's what our sons, that's what our daughters, right? And so I love it and I love seeing it, right? I love the fact that I even got a community around here, what I mean, that my other good friend just had his daughter like basically 3 weeks before me, right? His first baby girl, my homeboy had his son a year ago. So it's like great to just be in a community of other black men as well, right? That's, we're there from day one. We're going to be there all the way through, to be there to be a support for one another too as well. You know what I mean? And it's so interesting because a lot of things that people say online. I'm like, listen, man, I don't see that. That's not what I see. What I see is black families that's seeking to grow together, right? You know what I mean? Whether they some people may not even be in the same household, right? But I see a lot of two-parent households. You know what I'm saying? And people that's growing together. And so I know I'm blessed for that. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely gonna I don't take it for granted. You know what I mean? I'm definitely seeking to, be there and to impart those lessons. Like I say, man, that's what God has placed me in this position.
That's dope. That's dope.
Let's see. We got word. I think this came out 2 hours ago. The NCAA Board of Governors has voted to accept the antitrust lawsuit settlements and move forward with settlement. Only the SEC and Pac-12 remain to approve the settlement. This is talking about the aftermath of the Ed O'Bannon case. That's what that is. Well, we could talk about that on Friday. In fact, Friday is going to be a good old celebration because we celebrating 2 years on this thing right here. Um, I would never thought I would be doing this for 2 years, and here we are. Man, I appreciate you, Mel. Lionel, man, going to get you that sleep. And we talk some more about Prairie View because we got to revisit these schedules again. Uh, I know we did that first one last time. We're gonna have to revisit these schedules again. Once the after media day in July, and once I get all the media guides from every school, we'll talk about it.
100%,
Yeah,
bro.
definitely. No, this sounds good. And yeah, I definitely would love to get y'all, both of y'all gentlemen on, you know what I'm saying, a platform sometime in the future too. I definitely had a idea that I wanted to get some different people from different schools on. So I definitely pick up to connect with y'all offline, you know what I'm saying, so we can do that.
All
Tap in,
right,
bro. I'm here.
All right, no problem. I'm a jump off though, but I appreciate you, Doc.
anytime, man.
All
Appreciate you,
right,
bro.
Mel.
Yep.
All right, y'all. All right, man. We gonna get up on out of here. So, man, we had a good show. Ooh, I ain't did a 3 hour show in a minute. And ain't even no baseball game playing or football game. Let's talk about that. Let's see. Got some baseball that's being played right now. Let me get on. Um, got some baseball playing right now. I got to see what the score is on. I think that game's already done. Um, let me see. Refresh this. So FAMU and Southern is still, I think they're still going right now. I don't know if it's final. Um, all right. So right now, top of the ninth, Southern is down 3 runs to FAMU 8-5. Uh, Grant Harrison is the pitcher on the mound for FAMU. At bat is Kyle Radcliffe. So he's 3 for 4 right now tonight. And then on deck is Cameron Bird. He's 1 for 4 right now with an RBI. Hey, but either one that loses game, you don't want to lose a game. Somebody's going to be in a loser's bracket. And like I said, we already said you don't want that situation right there. But so appreciate everybody for joining me tonight. I know everybody went on to the other side to watch Ken Clark. Probably head on that side also. But we'll be back on here Friday for our 2-year anniversary, 2-year celebration for the podcast. We'll talk about more of the NCAA antitrust lawsuit. And we'll get into more SWAC baseball tournament action too. But this is your boy Doc Holliday. This has been HBCU Tonight. That's been powered by HBCU Overdrive. Make sure that you like the stream, comment, share. Most of all, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell to get everything HBCU Overdrive. Also, if you want to become an Overdrive family member, all you have to do is just jump out, hit the join button, and join the podcast for the low price of $4.99. Also, we still do have the Drive to 205 initiative that's going on right now. Look, I said I'll try to get, we try to get $300 today. Only got 20. I'm not complaining, but if you decide that you want to do it before we jump off of here, 10 people just give $10 on Cash App. That's $100 right there, and that will keep putting us to our initial goal. Initiative ends June 17th. I think that was a right amount of time right there. Excuse me. Within a month from media day, so like I said, I'll put something in on my end, but we are halfway there. We're a little bit over $500 on this, but hey, it is what it is. But also make sure if you just want to hit donation for the channel, just to keep the channel going, you can hit the PayPal, Cash App, and the Zelle. PayPal, David Smith 1925, Cash App, HBCU Overdrive, and the Zelle, David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. You can hit those three. And you can also hit the super chat where it'll be safe in there until it gets released. Other than that, look, that's how we get down over here for new members, for new subscribers that's watching right now. I appreciate y'all for watching the show. I hope y'all come back and become one of us. One of us, because we like to talk noise and we talk a lot about football and a lot about the culture and about life. Again, I'm your guy, Doc Holliday. I'm the voice of HBCU Sports and the Culture. Tap in on Friday for the 2-year celebration of the podcast. We are out this thing. As always, y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe. Hug your loved ones. And, man, stay dangerous out there. We out this thing. Peace.